Now we're going to take a look and see what happens when there's been a slide, right and left and up and down, so that we can have a look at how to get both this H and the C, which C is quite easy. So you look at again to see if there's an asymptote move. If it's like this graph, where it's approaching the x-axis but not getting there, then we know the asymptote hasn't moved. But if it has moved, so if we see a graph like this, then we know that we've got a shift up and down. So find the asymptote, first order of business. So this graph is approaching 3, but not getting to 3. So that's the asymptote for this particular graph, this one down here. So we know that y is equal to a, and then we have an exponent just of x plus h. But then we have plus c, right? So we have that. And we know where the c is. It's up 3. It's moved from the x-axis. It's gone 1, 2, 3. So it's plus 3. So by knowing where the asymptote is, we know what c is. Now, once we've got that, if there's been more shifts, so what we do now, find the asymptote, which you've done, move 1 point above the asymptote. So if 3 is that, then we move up, right? We just move up 1 here. And we get to the next part. And then if the point is moved left or right, that would suggest that we've got a shift left or right. But this one hasn't moved. So this one hasn't got a slide. It's just got a shift up, right? So, I mean, basically the equation is y is equal to a to the x, no shift, plus 3. The problem is that we obviously need to know what a is, right? So if we need to know what a is, we can take a point. And again, a point here is 0, 4. So 0, 4. So we can throw in 4 is equal to a to the 0 plus 3. We minus the 3. Minus 3, and we get 1. A to the 0 is equal to 1. Is that helpful? That's not helpful, is it? We need another point. That 0, 1 is not going to be useful, or 0, 4 is not going to be useful. So let's try another point. That's not going to be helpful. So how about we try this point? This looks like a good point to use. And that point there is 1, 5. So let's throw that into the equation. Sometimes you have to play around with these things. So 5 is equal to a to the 1 plus 3. So if I subtract 3, I get 2 over here. It's equal to a to the 1. So I know that a is 2. Has to be. 2 to the 1 is 2. So the equation is y is equal to 2 to the x plus 3. That one was easy. Now, let's go down to this graph, because this graph has had more things done to it. Okay, so it's been moved up, and we've got an asymptote at 3 again, so that's not changed. Right, so the asymptote is at 3, but if I go up 1 from up 1 from the asymptote, which is get me here, what happens is the graph has shifted. It's shifted over. It's shifted right 1. So I just go 1 above. So the asymptote is at 3. I go 1 above that, which is here, and then I move over. And I move right 1, shift 1 right. So y is equal to, now we haven't found a, but let's just say a, and then x. Now it's right 1, remember, always opposite for the horizontal shift, plus 3. And then you can go about putting in a point to find your a.